Good morning. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic readings, conversation, meditation, and prayer. This morning is January 27th. And the reading this morning comes from A Spiritual Principle a Day that is published by the organization Narcotics Anonymous. So here's our reading for today. Finding equal worth in anonymity. In NA, in recovery, we are all equal. A college degree, a trust fund, illiteracy, poverty, these circumstances that so powerfully affect so many other areas of our lives will neither help nor hinder our chances at recovery. It Works, Tradition 12. And so here's the reading that goes with that reference quote. There's only so much we can say about the principle of anonymity leveling the playing field of addiction and recovery. Addicts are addicts are addicts. Those of us with money may have gotten ourselves access to posh rehabs and lawyered our way out of jail, but that wasn't enough to keep us clean. We can't buy our way out of our disease. Similarly, for those of us who think we are ever so clever, we can't think or study our way out of it. For many of us, poverty or limited education may have limited our opportunities, and that may have made us more at risk for negative consequences due to our addiction. But no matter where we come from or where we end up, on day one of being clean, we all have the same opportunity to take advantage of the NA program. Yes, if addiction is one great equalizer that brought us down, recovery is another that can build us back up. Recovering addicts are recovering addicts are recovering addicts. And the program is the program for every addict with a desire to stay clean today. Once we're clean for a while, our life might look different from the outside, but it also might not. Careers, degrees, marriages, families, homes, or lack thereof don't necessarily reflect emotional healing and spiritual growth. How we treat one another does. We're not just equal in theory, we treat each other that way. How honest and open-minded we are is a good indicator of our progress. So is willingness to look at our own part in conflicts, past and present, to apologize, to forgive, and to do better. Our readiness to accept responsibility to help others, to grow through our hardships, to be grateful, to stop and breathe before we self-destruct or cause someone else unnecessary pain. These are the actions that will save our lives because we are all equally worthy of living. And so the affirmation that goes with this reading today is external factors, past or present, can't keep me clean or make me use again. I'll nurture my recovery internally by practicing anonymity outwardly, treating all recovering addicts as equal. And so here's what immediately comes up for me around this reading is that if you take addiction out of that and just put people in that, what a beautiful way to live. That people are people are people, right? And when we use anonymity to level the playing field and we understand that everybody is worthy and we treat everybody equally, no matter what the external package and peripherals are. That's about us and our spiritual recovery. That's about us demonstrating what we say we believe. It's not about the other person. It's about understanding that we are inherently equal because we are inseparably one. And so I cannot be above you. That requires duality. Just kind of does. So, curious what your thoughts are, if you have any. I see we have one person joining us on Facebook. Happy Monday. I think the journey is really about getting past our conditioned judgments that we use to separate from each other. That's my thought. I mean, I could reread this reading and take disease and addiction out of it, and it still reads very powerfully. And that affirmation, external factors, past or present, can't keep me spiritually fit or make me judge. Right? It's easy to change. I'll nurture my spiritual growth internally by practicing anonymity outwardly, treating all life as equal. Easy breezy. Yeah. So if you have nothing to share, I'm going to move into our time of meditation. We do a brief 5-minute meditation. And then I close us with a spiritual mind treatment, also known as affirmative prayer. Okay, here we go with that. Your notes, so let me stop the meditation. Yes, absolutely, I can reread that. There we go. Absolutely. Okay, here it is. It begins with a quote. The title of it is Finding Equal Worth in Anonymity. And it begins with a quote from the book It Works, Tradition 12, which says, in NA, in recovery, we are all equal. A college degree, a trust fund, illiteracy, poverty, these circumstances that so powerfully affect so many areas of our lives will neither help nor hinder our chances at recovery. And so I think I'll read it through, replacing addiction and recovery with people and spiritual growth. Right? So here's what the reading is. There's only so much we can say about the principle of anonymity, leveling the playing field of humanity and spiritual growth. People are people are people. Those of us with money may have gotten ourselves access to posh lives, but that wasn't enough to keep us happy. We can't buy our way out of dis-ease. Similarly, for those of us who think we are so clever, we can't think or study our way into happiness or out of our dis-ease. For many of us, poverty or limited education may have limited our opportunities. And that may have made us more at risk for negative consequences of our thinking, behavior, and choices. But no matter where we come from or where we end up, on day one of choosing differently, we all have the same opportunity to take advantage of tools that help us recover our truth. Yes, if dis-ease, conditioned thinking, is one great equalizer that brought us down, spiritual growth, spiritual recovery of our authentic self is another that can build us back up. Recovering our authentic selves is recovering our authentic self, right? And the steps, the journey is the journey for every human being that desires to change. Once we're on that journey for a while, our life might look different on the outside, but it also might not. Careers, degrees, marriages, families, homes, or lack thereof doesn't necessarily reflect emotional healing and spiritual growth. How we treat one another does. We're not equal, just equal in theory. We treat each other that way. How honest and open-minded we are is a good indicator of our progress, our spiritual growth. So is willingness to look at our part in conflicts, past and present, to apologize, to forgive, and to do better. Our readiness to accept responsibility, to help others, to grow through our hardships, to be grateful, to stop and breathe before we self-destruct or cause someone else unnecessary pain. These are the actions that will save our lives because we are all equally worthy of living. And so the affirmation then becomes external factors, past or present, can't keep me spiritually fit or make me abandon my spiritual journey. I'll nurture my spiritual growth, my spiritual recovery internally by practicing anonymity outwardly, treating all people as equals. So I hope that was helpful. Good morning, Elaine Leitner. Long time no connect. I see kites. Oh, goodness. Connection is a beautiful thing. Okay. So was that helpful, Deborah, to have that reread that way? Have to pause and give people time to type. With all the different devices we use, it's who knows how long it takes. Okay. So I'm going to move into our meditation again. We do a 5-minute timed meditation, and then I will close us out with an affirmative prayer. Okay, here we go. So, with this next breath, I go deeper into that place within me, the essence of my being that recognizes itself, to know that there is only one individualized expression, individualizing in multiplicity, one source, one substance, one power, one presence. It is this equality, because everything is created out of it. And so it is the point of equality. Everything created out of the same substance must be equally that. It is anonymous by existence, because it is no thing and everything. It is changeless and nameless, because to name a thing is to limit it, and it is unlimited. It is infinite possibility already present, expressing in a multiplicity of form, and yet never changing what it is, never changing its value, simply expressing in multiplicity. And so I know that I am a center, I am a point of, I am a place where whatever words make sense, I am it expressing itself as this thing I call my personhood, my life. And yet I am never separate from any other element of life. And what is true of me is true of all. And so while the value of me is the source of me, the authenticity of me is the expression of that source, individualized as me. And so I claim and affirm that I am no longer fooled by appearance, no longer valuing any expression of life by the outward expression of it, but rather continuously remember that it is the substance, it is that anonymity, that creative essence that establishes the value, and that is equal for all creation. From the tiniest grain of sand to the most majestic mountain, to the cosmos, to the quantum field itself, all one. And so the value of one must be the value of all that are created, expressing it. I claim and affirm that within me is the capacity to see and know with accuracy the intrinsic, unalterable value of all life. And I choose to remember that. And I choose to remind myself of that over and over again, as many times as it takes, to anchor it in my being, to replace the lie and limitation and fragmentation of conditioned thinking, of separation thinking, with the truth of wholeness, completeness, perfection as the value of all. And as I know from that, treating every expression of life with the love, with the respect, with the dignity, with the appreciation, the recognition, the unity that is deserving, appropriate, and accurate. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the activity of law that keeps everything equal, that responds to every expression of itself equally, that says yes to every idea, every element, everything. So I know that the activity of law, the activity of creation itself, continues to create, to express whatever word we use in equality, because that's all it has is itself. Infinite, eternal equality. And so I can let go. I can let go of all of the brain chatter that tells me I need to make things equal. And instead, I choose to participate. To participate as equality, to treat as equality, to be the center of equality, and let everyone else be that in my interactions. To access, to let go, and be. Just simply be. I surrender it all. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.